Today I want to share a few thoughts, and I'm titling this talk, Youth Power, Let Us Cherish, Art Must Flourish, Notes on the Progressive Democratic Move to Create Change. Today I come to you with a simple proposition. Let me begin with two questions. How do we develop a culture of art activism that will connect to the responsibility to build up our society? How do we align the power of youth with the work of culture and education? The DJ, Linda Belize, designed a t-shirt that says, "Try for me." The Creole language has a perfect word for it, bafu. It is usually linked to the phrase, bafu akin gama, meaning you keep trying but always missing. I want to tell the youth today that the art of trying is life. Don't worry about the miss. Concentrate on the try. So let us start by trying something new. I come here with a very basic proposal to the beautiful youths of Belize. Your job is to see power, to know where it is, to know how it is revealed, to understand how it controls your life, and then to subvert it, to shift its balance, to design and create a new, progressive, democratic destiny that is infused with the particles of your dreams, the particles of your hopes and your desires. Think about this. Cultural production makes a world. Cultural production makes a world. Your world, the youth world, the music, the art, the poetry, the video, the web, the writing, the education, the creativity. These acts of production. So if we have an education system that is a morgue of irrelevance designed in the 19th century, then how do we expect to infuse a culture of productivity, a culture of innovation, a culture of radical thinking, a culture of democratic change? Our freedom to speak, to think, and to act must be valued and cherished. This is the role of education, and this is a key responsibility in the space of the arts and culture. Education, arts, and culture cannot be segregated. All are potential instruments for social development. And until the youth are at the table of power, then our education system will continue to promote a mythology of transformation. We cannot continue to cherish instruction by compliance over dynamic democratic participation. We must become addicted to a culture of self-determination, trying to imagine our education and culture responsibilities, especially in the areas of art and history. Our work must become a laboratory of new ideas, plans, and actions. It is important to spend time documenting our work, promoting the voices and the vision of the individual artists, the writers, the poets, the teachers, and other creative persons, showing the educational impact of a creative thought system. Belize is still becoming, so it is easy to understand that we can reboot our social systems and develop a progressive process that is experimental, exploratory, and explosive. I know the young people understand what I am talking about. My friends, let us not fool ourselves. We are in a state of melting, red melting. So more acts of art and culture are required to confront this UDP powerlessness, this impoverished role that they have placed on top of us. I call it the poverty of imagination. The UDP has caused a poverty of imagination. I didn't come here to waste your time recalling the disrespectful, pedestrian, and retrograde approach that the UDP government has taken to youth, to education, to the arts and culture over the last 8 years. The fact that a minister of culture is not ashamed to declare to the country that the UDP wanted to build a $15 million colonial museum is enough evidence to expose their wicked intentions. Let us think of the idea of a contrast to that. Let me give it to you. The image of Paul Nabor and Andy Palacio locked hands, holding their hands up at the Bliss stage. 2 generations of Garifuna greatness, indigenous and African greatness, Belizean greatness. We can never allow the dream of building up our voices to fade or die. I make a call to creative work and action today. I stand before you with a sense of conviction and commitment. Every day I must face the next generation of youth in my classrooms. And sometimes in the chaos of learning, I am reminded of the silent solitude we each carry. The mindful power to change the state we are in. Let us learn how to try. Let us learn Bafu. Investing in the development of culture and the arts plays a vital role in building up an identity of creativity and respect. That self-expression and self-determination are important elements in the growth of a free society. The People's United Party is committed to advancing the space for the arts and culture in Belize by supporting the initiatives of the people who are the creators and the producers of cultural products and actions. So I've given you the philosophy, now the action. The PUP fully supports the establishment of a culture fund to be administered by artists, the state, and NGOs for micro-creative enterprises, seed money, startup money, investments for artistic activities and businesses. 2, develop a digital portal where with Belize's cultural and historical resources so that students, parents, and teachers could have easy access to relevant knowledge. 3, and this one is dear to my heart, roll out the teaching of African and Maya history in our education system as a foundation for our modern historical logic. Until we get the narrative right that this nation is the result of oppression, struggle, and ongoing resistance, then we will continue to to celebrate a mindless logic of unity and appeasement. Also, we must place special emphasis on the teaching of Belizean history with a strong narrative about Belize's place in the world, especially in the context of the unfounded claim of Guatemala. History is today. The year 2015, the one we are living in, is an alarm to the fact that we cannot treat the issue of Guatemala with a kind of cultural amnesia, with a kind of casual amnesia. 4, and I hope Positive Vibes is here listening. Keegan, all the artists here, and the artists across this country are listening, to provide training for artists, musicians at all levels toward economic viability and sustainability. We must believe in ourselves. We cannot be selling this stupid thought that there is no money in culture, when chronics can come and we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. I love chronics. Everybody loves chronics. But what it shows us is that culture is a product of money and earning. It is power. The reason why this government has not promoted culture for 8 years is because they have an agenda to stifle the voice, to keep us powerless. We, the artists of this nation, must stand up and make ourselves heard and make the role of the artists important to society. Two more. I know I'm taking a bit long. We need to develop a program of printed and e-publications promoting reading and learning and harnessing the creativity of our writers and illustrators, especially in the creation of children's books. In 2008, I can recall, or the year 2007, Belize had published 128 various books. There has never been a year under the UDP where more than 20 books have been published in a year. This year alone, other than the books that we've published, I don't want to count those, there are only 3 books. What does that say? That says that there is a concerted effort to suppress knowledge, to reduce our sense of society to nothing, so that all we can do is live in the squalor of poverty and think about food. We don't just need food for our bodies. Art and culture and education is food for our mind, food for our soul. We need to map these things. The next PUP government must map. Next year, 2016, we're targeting 100 books. 2017, 200, then 300. We must reach a stage where books, whether it is electronic or printed, are being published and released every day. That is a sign of a healthy economy and a healthy democracy. In a few minutes, we will pass out this beautiful document, yellow and blue. You might want to think, why we pick yellow? Yellow is a beautiful color. It is the color of youth, the color of hope. Blue is even a more powerful color. Blue is the power, is the color of progress, is the color of opportunity, is the color of dreams being realized. Today, I am honored that we are marrying the yellow hope with the blue opportunity. My young friends, our work is going to be difficult, but that is beautiful. We have to make the Belize that we want. We must involve the youth of this country. By the thousands, they must participate every day. The brighter, educated university youth must pick up their responsibility and help the others to build back literacy, build back opportunity. Youth must be at the table of power. I can tell you, my young friend is sitting right here, Francis Fonseca. He has been through a lot. But the dawn is about to break, my friend. The yellow and the blue on the 4th of November. A new dawn will break. I can feel it and you can feel it. We must believe in the power of ideas, but more importantly, the power of action to make those ideas real. The power of youth is the energy and the fuel that will change Belize. I know this. I witness this every day. I believe this, and I ask you to believe it too. Try for me. Bafo!